Hello, welcome to Sony Simplified. I'm Tom, and this is Jen.
I'm Jen.
Hey, and we are here to talk to you today, and we're really focusing on that Sony Alpha user who has only shot their camera on auto. We want to get you to feel a little more comfortable with your camera so you can get a little more creative, start using that exposure triangle to get creative, use more manual settings. Yeah.
And what are we talking about when we talk? Let's show you some images that you have maybe tried. Eventually, this overexposure, and then you've ever had one where it's underexposure. It's
where it's real dark.
Yeah, it's real dark. Well, the balance between that is getting that perfect one where it's just
a balanced exposure.
Correct.
And it looks good. So by using the exposure triangle, we'll go in and talk about the topics, talk about a couple things, and hopefully by the end you'll feel more comfortable and you'll be able to shoot a little more creatively and have a good time. So
before we do that, please like and subscribe to this channel.
Absolutely. And we are live. So if you have any questions or comments, we'll be monitoring the chat.
Yeah,
and please put them in there and we will do our best to answer them.
And the topics we plan to cover today.
Yeah, so we are first going to talk about our aperture, or the exposure triangle. I'm sorry, Jen, help me out.
No, we're just going to cover the exposure triangle, which is the aperture, the shutter speed, and ISO, the fundamentals of an exposure triangle.
Awesome. So I'm going to start off with aperture. So aperture can be a little confusing. I like to think of it as as you see on the screen there, for area of focus. Not only does the aperture allow your lens to open up wider or smaller, depending on how much light you want to let in. As you can see on the screen on the left side, let me get it right, left side, that is a 1.8, I believe, and it is wide open. You also get the brightest image. On the other side, left, I'm sorry, I'm backwards, you get the closed view where it's smaller. You also get less light in, and you get a larger depth of field. So Jen, on the left side, you get that shallow depth of field where you can get a face in focus and defocus the background.
Kind of like portraits.
Portraits, right.
Okay.
And on the right side, if you have a high number of f-stop, you have that large depth of field where you can get everything in focus, like a landscape or anything like that. So from aperture, we move on to the next step, which is
shutter speed. And just as it says, it starts with an S, think of it as it slows or stops motion or shows motion. It is also shutter speed. So it's how fast is the shutter opening and closing. And if it's opening, longer, it's doing things to your photo. As the graphic shows here is the long, and let me mention this, is shutter speed is measured in seconds and fractions of seconds.
Correct.
And if you do a very fast shutter speed,
like 1/1000th.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you do that, that is capturing motion.
Freezing it.
Yes.
Right?
And it's just like if Tom got up and ran across the camera right here, and I would want to catch him, and without any blur, I would set it at a higher
speed, right? Faster shutter speed.
But if I wanted, maybe if he had a strobe light and he was swinging it around, and I wanted to capture that light
streaking,
correct, I would want a very slow shutter speed, maybe a half a second or a second, as it shows there. There are things that affect if you increase your shutter speed, and that could be you might be darkening the photo. So again, it affects
the light that
comes in.
Right. So the slower speed, more light comes in. The faster speed, less light comes in.
Correct. Yes. Right. And then the third aspect of the triangle
is how does your camera deal with that light, right?
Yeah.
So that's ISO. It's the sensitivity of your sensor that you set. So low ISO gives you a clear image. If you want to think of ISO as either increasing brightness and it also increases noise. So as you go to a higher ISO, it does brighten the picture, but at the same time, you're going to add noise into the picture. So you have to be aware as you get into those higher numbers on ISO that you could end up with a noisy picture, and that will cause some problems.
Exactly.
So now we kind of want to put it all together. So
what are possible scenarios? And let me set this up for you, Tom.
Yeah.
The three aspects we just covered: aperture, shutter, and ISO.
Yeah.
When would I ever want to prioritize one? Meaning, setting that first?
Okay. Well, I think it's all in what you're shooting, right? So if you are shooting something that's a moving subject, I think shutter speed needs to be your priority there. So if it's sports or kids or anything where they're moving around, you really do shutter speed first. Then you look at, do you want to have everything in focus?
Like a big background.
Right.
Landscape.
So that would be a high f-stop, right? If you want the background defocus, then it's a low f-stop. After that, you have your picture where you want it as far as shutter speed. You have your f-stop set. Now you use ISO to create the light in the image.
Okay.
Got it?
And when would I ever want to use ISO as a first priority?
ISO as a first priority would probably come in a dark situation where you're shooting outside at night or even inside in a darker lit room where you would have to adjust your ISO to make that happen and create the light where there isn't any light. But again, be careful about that. Now, one of the most important things though, Jen, that all of this puts together is people are able to be more creative. So the question you really want to ask yourself is, what is your creative goal? And whatever that may be, whether it's defocusing background, whether it's putting it all in light, whether it's showing motion or stopping motion, whatever that is, whatever your goal is, make that your priority, set that first, and let the others set around it. Do we have any questions come up in the chat?
We do not yet. There's plenty of comments here. I would love to, if you do have any questions, if you don't, and if you think of them after this live stream is over, you can still post them in the chat. We'll get to them and answer them for you.
Awesome. Well, let's go back over what we've covered today. So first we talked about aperture. We talked about how that was opening the lens wider or narrower to show depth of field. Then we talked about shutter speed to capture and freeze motion. And then we talked about ISO to sensitivity to light and adding that in. So beyond that, I think we want to let people know if they did just purchase a camera or if you had a camera for a while.
Please register your camera.
Please register your camera.
You get so many things, proof of purchase, a lot of different things that you get, product updates, and
even exclusive offers.
Exclusive offers. So if you haven't already, please go and register your camera and like and subscribe to this channel.
If you want to see future videos, for sure.
Which we do have future live streams coming.
We should have those pop up on the screen. And then most importantly, if you do have any ideas for something that you want to see or ideas that you want to share, just put those in the comments and we'll see if we can put a video together for you. Outside of that, thank you so much for joining us at Sony Simplified. You guys have a great day. I'm Tom.
I'm Jen.
Have a good one.